tuning in the last 2 weeks as I filled in for Leland. I'm grateful for the new listeners, grateful for the new followers on X. You can find me at APRYLMARIE. And so you can follow me there. I was talking to JD about Second Amendment rights over here, and the Hawaii case specifically, where Hawaii was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna say this is an independent right. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and make it so that everybody has to get permission." And in Alito's decision, he says, let's give he gives the example of a girl who's a victim of domestic violence, a woman who's a victim of domestic violence, who goes from place to place, going about her normal day. She leaves home, she goes to work, she stops to get breakfast, she stops to get lunch, she does dry cleaning. Under the Hawaii law, she would basically be a criminal if every one of those places hadn't given explicit permission for her to exercise her Second Amendment right. So that was what he, one of his things in the majority opinion.
I, it, I don't. It's an unpopular opinion for me, anyways. That like the states again, the states have rights, and I think it boils down to the voters, right? This is like, hey, stop. If you don't want to live under this tyranny, stop electing these people that are putting you in this, right? So I kind of
Can the voice of many take away the rights of all? No,
no.
no.
I mean,
And thankfully, the Supreme Court said this. Okay.
you got 9 people now. It's a mob rule. You have 9 people because I look at it bigger than just these little things. It's like I don't actually want the Supreme Court. Generally, those 9 people become the arbiter of all of our rights. Right, and so you have 9 people representing 350 or however many million people are in here.
This is the leftist idea for expanding the court, and the solution is not to expand the court. Well, I think a big part of our really crazy thing going on with the Supreme Court now is that we end up with liberal opinions who are just kind of crazy,
right?
Like without a doubt, just kind of what's going on here? But no, I truly think that the Supreme Court did right there, and I'm interested to see what they say about assault weapon bans. And I almost want to put that in air quotes because it's scary. That gun looks scary to me.
It does. That's why you got to paint them a different color.
That gun looks really scary to me, so therefore it should be outlawed.
But I'm also of the opinion that there should be zero. Like there's nothing. Everybody should be able to own a machine gun.
Right? I'm not opposed to that.
I'm very much like maximum rights, but also the states have rights. The federal government, whatever.
Imagine what would happen.
Just don't live in those states. Stop living in those states, and they will change their ways. Right?
Like that's working so well for California and New York.
Again, this is a voter problem. This is a lack of participation. This is a lack of. Actually, it's a program that's working very well with public schools. They don't teach any of this stuff anymore, right? They don't teach civics. They don't teach how any of this stuff works. And so now we live under tyranny because of whatever program that they installed. That's what we're looking at. And so for me, a lot of this is a fundamental problem, right? It's fundamental at the voters level. They don't teach their kids anything. They don't do any of this stuff.
See, this is a good reminder for America 250. Get out there and talk to your kids about how great a nation we have, why it's great, what makes it great, the people who have fought to make it great, and then your general rights and responsibilities. What is God given? What is the government permitting you to do? We talk a lot about this idea. Well, government says I can't. Well. Wait, what?
Yeah. But also the Second Amendment can be taken away, right? It's just an amendment, right? So there
could be a constitutional amendment.
Absolutely. Like if this was such a big deal, then it should have been baked into the Constitution.
I would love to see someone come take the Constitutional, try to take the Second Amendment away. Try to repeal the Second Amendment.
We're like 10 years from it. I mean, are you kidding me?
No way.
I mean,
no
not
way.
10 years. There's.
Not in our lifetime.
Look at the DSAs. They're starting to do their things, right? And people are the world is getting very crazy, and I don't think anything's off the table, quite
See,
frankly.
I,
I
I,
just
I
don't.
have a higher, hold in higher regard the that we will correct as a nation and we'll go. This is a perfect example, and I've talked about this probably ad nauseum for listeners in terms of boys and girls sports, or this idea that there's no difference between a man and a woman or whatever. There was a moment in time people were scared to say, no, that's a dude in a dress.
Right.
There was a moment in time in which people were scared to say doctors shouldn't be sterilizing children. That this has gone too far, and then we corrected, and it became a
Because there
national
was more
issue.
participation.
Because there were people willing to say, wait, what is happening
Right.
here is wrong. And so I don't think we ever get to a point where the gun grabbers are like, well, let me convince you the way to stop crime. Because keep in mind, I read cover to cover the Birmingham, crime prevention report, and there was a lot about getting into the communities and doing things and hiring more law enforcement and all the things.
The
Uh,
the audacity.
Shocking.
Right.
All. And so, at any rate, but one of their things was talking about limiting gun rights in not just Birmingham. They were like in Jefferson County. Let's go ahead and we'll limit the gun rights of people in Jefferson County. And you're going, what? That's not the problem.
It's not.
Who was I had in? I had in somebody last week, and we were talking about the ability to literally look at, say, a census tract or a zip code or an area and go, this is where the danger lies. And law enforcement knew who the people were. And, they were repeatedly, there was just this, Woodfin would go out there and beg people, for the love of all that's holy, if you see something, say something, stop being quiet.
Right.
This is a problem, for all of the, around Birmingham area, the greater Birmingham area, for all of the pushback you'll see on people living in the suburbs. People in the suburbs couldn't solve the problem Birmingham had with its crime. It had to be people willing to identify and testify and all of those
Participation.
Things.
Participation in the system. I mean,
But it couldn't be Jefferson County just declares, Birmingham says we have a crime problem. We're taking away guns from Jefferson County. That's what I'm saying.
but if people are participating in the process, that wouldn't even come up because these people wouldn't be elected into these spots to be able to make these moves. And that's kind of the way I look at it. I mean, in the June 16th primary, what was the percentage of people that participated in the voting? 10%?
It was 11% statewide, something like that.
So I don't have the same optimism in the general voter. Like they don't participate until it's too late, right? So even with the trans stuff and the boys, we actually had to get to that point before we had to get to a point to where like they were allowing this stuff for people to be like, no, that's crazy. So I think that scales up to almost anything.
All right, we're going to come back. You are listening to Leland Live. April Marie and JD here. Back in just a minute. You guys hold tight. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here, filling in for Leland. JD,
Mm.
JD, just getting trolled by AJ
I
from
don't
the
think I've been
producer's
trolled
booth.
this much in a hot minute.
This is if this continues into Breaking
It's
Bread, I'm gonna
100.
cry.
It's 100% going to do that. Like this is going to be all day.
If you are just tuning in, JD came in and sat down, not realizing that his chair is now on camera on the YouTube live. The chair was all the way to the ground, and he looked like Oompa Loompa.
To be fair, it was a camera angle thing. Like I just moved. I didn't move the chair up. I just moved the camera.
It was pretty amazing. Not gonna lie.
It wasn't. It actually. It's not even worth anybody going back and looking at or checking.
I
not.
won't post a photo at all. So glad you could come in. We are still expecting to have one more guest in later today. So JD owns, for those who don't know, Redland Rifle. You should know that if you're listening to Breaking Bread in the afternoons. But owns Redland Rifle, which made me think to talk Supreme Court, which led us down a whole rabbit hole on all sorts of issues. Kevin has a gun question from Montevallo. We'll see what this is. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
What's going on, Kevin?
Yeah, hey, I've got I think it's a second generation Glock Model 26. You know, it's a mini, but, I mean, if you put it in your pocket, you obviously can see what it is. It's not really hiding anything.
Right.
But I would go shooting with friends, and we'd all be standing side by side, and they would always tell me that when I was shooting, that they could feel the concussion in their chest. I mean, I wasn't shooting them. I just want to clarify that. But they could feel every time I fired the gun, they were like, man, I could feel that in my chest. It's like resonating. I was just wondering, was it because they were real blocky and they had like a lot of metal? Because I know that some of the brands out there use more composites or maybe different types of metals. I was just wondering, do you know anything about that?
Do you know what kind of rounds you were using?
I know they're probably high grain.
Okay, so they were y'all also under a cover or anything like that, like a metal roof?
No,
or was
we
it
were
was outside?
like in like a field. It was all open.
Oh yeah, and that's. I mean, I would assume it's from the barrel length, but I mean, pistol barrels aren't that long, anyways. There are some. The reason I asked the rounds, they make some really light 9mm rounds and some other calibers that are supersonic, and you can feel those when they come out of the barrel. I mean, it's got a massive concussion that goes along with it, especially if you're inside or under something, because they're just moving so fast.
Yeah.
I could see that, but yeah, I never really did anything like that. I would get hollow points and I would get like high grain, but nothing really exotic.
I mean, how close were they? Are they just standing? Are they like close talkers but just close shooters?
Well, like I said, we were just shooting at some targets, and like I said, it was like three of us. I was in the middle. And my friend was like maybe about a foot away standing from me. My other friend was about a foot away from me standing. And like I said, we were just completely lined up shooting at a target. And they said that every time I shot, it's like they could feel something in their chest.
That's pretty wild.
All right. JD has no definitive answer here.
No.
Well, thanks for calling in, Kevin.
All right. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
It's a small pistol, though.
Yeah.
It really is. And so I don't know. I've never experienced that, but I've also never shot a Glock 26 either.
There you go. All right. Somebody wrote in and said, so earlier, I don't even know what just happened.
Yeah, it was my phone.
Oh, you didn't mute your phone when you came in the radio
I
studio?
did, but here's the thing. So actually, when I pull up, it's location based, but my daughters and my wife,
they get an exception.
They get an exception.
Fair. I was talking about talking about Birmingham crime earlier. I mentioned an ABC 3340 story. It was Austin Pratt. It was June. If you want to go back and look it up on the Googles, ABC 3340. Austin Pratt basically chased down Mayor Randall Woodfin. And then he wrote the story. I got to give it to him. He said, for weeks, ABC 3340 has requested interviews with Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin regarding several recent high-profile shootings, including the June 4th mass shooting on Holly Avenue that left 2 people dead and 5 others wounded. He said those requests have not resulted in an interview. On Thursday, after another request for an interview, Austin Pratt approached Woodfin. You can see that encounter if you go to ABC 3340's news page. And part of it was, and Woodfin's like, oh, you could see him. He's losing his temper. He's like, talk to my staff. He keeps referring the guy back to his staff, and he's like, look, he puts the emails up on screen. This is the kind of news I appreciate, by the way. This is not press release news. This is not a puff piece. We've got tough answers. And while the city's out there, and hey, everybody's glad crime in the city is going down. Huge, okay? Everybody's glad that they have hired more law enforcement officers. They have figured out how to retain some of them. These are things worth celebrating. But as they're celebrating this, there's this uptick in crime, and the mayor's office is like, not it. We're just not going to talk about it. Like we're not going to make the mayor available. You can see the look in Woodfin's face, and they're like, we did a social media post, and they're like, the social media post is, again, celebrating crime being down, and we're talking about crime that's not included in that, or crime that hasn't specifically been addressed. That is what I'm talking about. That is good stuff here. And then for those who aren't familiar with Damian McDaniel, yes, our local news coverage, there has been local coverage about this. I believe there was even a piece on, essentially this guy being a serial killer. But national-wise, not remotely the amount of coverage it should have. This guy went on a ridiculous murder spree, took law enforcement. He had already had, I'm trying to see how much it is, the number of cases that they have him on before he was actually stopped is enough to give you nightmares.
He's local?
Oh, yeah. See, I'm telling you.
What?
Damian McDaniel, he is mass shooting cases. He went on a freaking killing spree. He's charged in connection with 18 killings across 10 separate shootings. And it's the kind of thing where I cannot tell you the amount of people who don't realize that one guy was linked to all of these homicides. So they're like, yay, homicides down. Well, you got the guy who was doing a ton of them. And yes, again, law enforcement works. You put more cops on the street, you get some of these solutions. So those are the two stories I want to encourage everybody to look at. It's pretty rare that Woodfin doesn't get favorable coverage in local outlets. A little bit of a media darling. Everybody knows his comms team. Actually, I know his comms team. They're great people. But I'm wholeheartedly appreciative of reporters willing to take on the go beyond the press release, go beyond the BPD talking points, and willing to put Woodfin on the spot to ask him tough questions. It was a good job.
Not that it matters, but this isn't this is serial killer because it's a lot of bodies, but not like the creepy kind where you've got, they're going up and down the interstate, like finding people. Is this like gang related or that sort of thing?
It was mostly, I think, murder for hire and then witnesses and then the mass.
It's not like John Wayne Gacy or somebody like that where he's
yeah,
bringing the bodies.
There's probably no Netflix coming about this
okay.
guy.
That's wild though. 18.
And it is really crazy.
Goodness gracious.
And the amount of people that don't realize that this happened. And it was like, there'd be the ticks and like, okay, now he's charged with 10 and now he's charged with 12 and now he's been tied to 14 and now 18. And you're going, what in the world? Where is the national media here? It doesn't fit the talking points that you typically get.
Wow.
Look at that. Our guest has figured out how to get up here on his own. So we'll have Paul DeMarco joining us for the final half hour. Let's go to Jimmy the Greek as we wrap up this segment. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, congratulations, April Marie, on a wonderful 2 weeks. I was going to I guess I can say it now. I was going to say that to Leland when he gets back, but we need to have some signs that say, April Marie on your radio. Just hanging out, and April with Y on your radio. Come on, and let him know what a great job you've done. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and we'll look forward to seeing you again whenever you get a chance to do it.
I appreciate that.
One other thing in there, he says be nice to you, but I just want you to think about your Catholic faith just a little bit now, and tell me which side you're on. Are you with the Pope or are you with the guys in Switzerland?
I almost brought that up today, and I was like, I don't know that I'm ready for this. JD's also Catholic, and Paul DeMarco is also Catholic. So I'm glad you brought that up because we'll have 3 Catholics in the room, and we can talk about it this next segment. You guys hold tight. Thank you so much for calling in, Jimmy. It has been my pleasure to be here, and I appreciate the call. All right, we are taking a quick break. When we come back, Paul DeMarco will join us. You guys, April Marie filling in for Leland. Well, good evening. Man, this show has flown by. For those of you just tuning in, you've got April Marie here. My last day filling in for Leland as he is on his great road trip adventure. On Monday, he'll be broadcasting live from his road trip. In studio with me, we have had JD in here with us, one of the taste buds. As we just talk a little bit of everything. And now I'm thrilled to bring in Paul DeMarco. Hi, Paul.
Hope you're well. Hope both of you are well. Glad to be with you and your listeners as we get closer to the 4th.
I know. About to celebrate 250. I don't know why I didn't think to text you. I was getting everybody's opinions on how Hoover City Council's hot dog eating contest would be. So we kind of split as a team here. I thought Robin Schultz was going to have it. AJ was pulling for Gene, and then Ashley Lovell won it.
I
Did
saw
she?
that.
She did.
Kudos to her. I hope she felt better. I watched that competition on the 4th with Joey Chestnut. I make a point to watch it. Get done with all my serving barbecue during the day, and I watch it and everything. And the amount of hot dogs.
Well, I was kind of disappointed. I don't want to badmouth Hoover, but they did it by time. I think partially because they had fireworks going. They had a schedule to stick to. So they did who could eat the most in a certain set amount of time. I'm wondering if they had kept going.
Probably they talked to the city attorney who said we didn't want anybody getting sick.
Well, it's always the skinny folks that just crush in those competitions anyways.
My daughter, we were watching it live. She had Derek Murphy, and I texted him, and I was like, my daughter just bet on you, like, no pressure. And then afterwards, he responded, and he was like, sorry.
But it was all for fun. All the betting was for fun.
All for fun.
All the betting was fun.
Next year, we have to actually do something where there's like a fan favorite. They raise money for a charity or
There you
something
go.
because
All within the legal.
Yes, exactly. All within none of it that would get Catherine Robertson's attention. There you go.
What you're saying is put it on Poly Markets. That's what we need to do.
That's what we need to do. So Paul DeMarco, of course, former state representative, a man about town. I don't know that it feels like you're in Hoover, you work with the Mountain Brook Chamber. There's just a lot going on. Very active with your church. You were mentioning, so I've been talking up 4th of July, 250-day events and activities. Homewood, of course, has the giant flag out, which is beautiful and lovely. You're going to be at the OLS. You'll have an event tomorrow, or 4th of July,
It's
Saturday.
Either maybe 76th 4th of July festival. I mean, think about that. 76th.
That's pretty cool.
And the Knights of Columbus have been cooking turkey, chicken, pork, ribs, all kinds of games, cakes. So come by, get some great barbecue. I mean, if you go into Homewood this week, you can smell barbecue.
That's fantastic.
The whole city smells like
the barbecue that you
barbecue.
guys are preparing.
I don't take any of the credit. I'm just a server. These guys and girls are doing the cooking.
And
I'm just a server.
There's a sale, right?
They have trash and treasure. Folks donate. And look, the line will be out. I mean,
it's a lot.
Get there early because there's some folks who are very serious about it, and that does well. And all of it, supports the church, the Knights, and schools. So, but it's a big deal. There'll be a lot of people there.
It is a big deal. We came at the end. I took the whole family last year, and I ended up getting books. Like I literally went through and just walked away. You can't put me near a book sale and not have me walk away with a handful. So I did that last year.
Well, it's a lot of just for folks. Obviously, not just folks who go to church, just folks all around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And who go. It's a big tradition. Folks looking for traditions on the 4th of July, and this anniversary as big as ever with 250th anniversary. There's a lot to do. Homewood's having an event. Hoover had the great event. There's just so much. I was at Vestavia's event a week ago. There's just a lot going on this time of the year. It's one of my favorite.
Well, and we have a lot to celebrate. Earlier today I was talking to Speaker Ledbetter. We were talking about kind of the direction of the state and coming off of these elections. How are you feeling about leading into 250 and coming off of this election cycle?
Well, I'll tell you, I think we're all excited about the 4th. We're all excited about what's going on in the country, the direction we're having. And so that's why when you see these socialists that have been elected in the past week.
We were talking about that. I mean, some of the worst of the worst. People have said vile things.
Well, people blaming there was a candidate
Oh yeah,
in Colorado
I saw
who
the video. We
blamed
played it
9/11.
on
America.
basically on America. Another one essentially apologized to them. So there's multiple that have said horrible things.
And we just have got to remember, a country this large, we have the First Amendment. You can say what you want, but we can still believe you're a vile individual. And the fact that you got elected to office to serve in the United States Congress is a poor reflection on the people that voted for you if they're willing to do somebody who blames this country for the horrible events of 9/11.
Yeah, essentially, is what they were doing, and there are so many of them that have been elected.
Yeah, but the rest of us, we're going to celebrate the best nation in the world. And it's so funny watching the World Cup. I've been watching it, and you've probably talked about it. All these people coming from around the world, the United States of America, and celebrating our country.
It's so cool.
How capitalism is great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And how you can go and standing in the grocery store and sing the selection, and going to the gas station, going to the Waffle House and sing "What a Great Nation." You can't go anywhere in the world and see what we have here. So I am proud to be an American, proud of the 250, and proud that we're continuing what our forefathers started.
Oh, absolutely. This has been, you almost couldn't have timed it better if you tried, in terms of people coming over and saying, we only know what we see in our news. We only know what we see in your news. And it was all negative. We thought crime was going to be crazy. And they're out there visiting small towns. We had people come to Auburn for the World Cup game there. People go to Washington, D.C. And by the grace of God, Trump has really, clamped down on crime and cleaned that up. It's been really, I think, lightening of the heart to see people come in and celebrate what, most conservatives celebrate year round.
Right. It's been what you call, I guess, a kind of a chamber of commerce moment. People are coming to our country and saying they have been great hosts this country. And how much they see how much we love this country. When you see them singing, the John Denver song,
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
That was after U.S. win last night.
But citizens of other country are joining in as well.
Right.
About how much they love this country.
I think it's just the ranch dressing.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole.
Don't ask me that. I'd rather say, I was talking to somebody about that earlier. I'm like, take back some of our barbecue sauce. Don't necessarily take the ranch dressing. If that's what you choose, take some of our barbecue sauce back.
That's
take
a good
your
idea.
Alabama white sauce, or take the North Carolina or your Memphis rub or something like that. Not necessarily the ranch.
It's kind of entertaining to me. It has been. Of course, the leftist chased Freddie off of X. I don't know if you saw that. The White House was like, "Forget it. We don't care what you do, how you attack him. He's still invited to the White House, and he's still coming." And so Freddie still gets to go to the White House, which I think is pretty cool.
And again, because they can't stand to see somebody celebrating the greatness of our country,
right,
that was created 250 years ago, that we have a constitution that allows for the freedoms, and they just, it's like they can't be happy for the country.
Right. Well, and that, it's so funny because I don't have cable television, because I choose not to. And so I've been here for 2 weeks, and you've got Fox News on one, CNN on the other, and it really is night and day difference. I've talked a lot about getting out of your silos. Like if you read one particular news outlet, or you watch one particular channel that is negative all the time, then you're going to be left with a bad impression. People are left with a bad impression of Alabama because they read one particular Alabama news outlet, and you're like, get it together. We're a great freaking state.
You could just turn the TVs off. I mean, you could just not watch it.
That's
true. What we do when we get on Breaking Bread. We get in here, we turn the stuff
off.
Turn
the TV off.
It depress you.
Well, like I said, it's all these fans that came to watch the game in Auburn.
Yeah, that was so much fun to see. That was there's so much to celebrate. It's great to see people talk about American exceptionalism and how great our nation we are as hosts. So there is something to Southern hospitality, and we have so many people who will say, Alabama, they're for whatever reason, people think they're going to get here and we're going to be full of hate. We're going to be hateful, intolerant of immigrants. I think that was one of those eye-opening things. People are going, oh, I've heard Alabama's intolerant. They're all conservative. No, we welcome legal immigrants. We welcome people from around the world. We want you to come here. We want to celebrate that.
Y'all just don't stay past the World Cup unless, you've got the right documentation.
Well, I think you just used the word. I mean, we just follow the rules.
Yeah.
I don't think that's all we can ask of anyone. is just follow the rules,
Yeah.
because it's not fair if we have a set of rules and then you want to break in line.
Well, and we talked a lot coming off of the SCOTUS decisions of, I think too many people get their mindset on one view of immigration. I try to be careful. I don't always do it when I talk about legal immigration versus illegal immigration, and what is someone's intention here. We can't count the World Cup immigrants who are here and following laws and celebrating the same as cartel members. These are totally different things. One is celebrating our nation. One is trying to exploit it, and we have a lot to celebrate.
Well, we've all traveled to other countries with the intent to come back. I mean, we want visitors, we want tourism, but again, it's about following the rules.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where part of the problem we've had in the past 6 years with, it's like, oh, let's not have police, let's not have bails, let's not have prisons. Some folks don't want to follow.
Oh, I'm glad you said the prisons thing, because I want to talk to you about that.
Follow the law or follow the rules.
Yep. If y'all missed it earlier today, you can go to 1819news.com. One of the CD6 candidates, a Democratic candidate, was literally writing online that she was going to target ICE officers. She hoped they came into the restaurant where she works so that she could essentially poison them or give them foods they're allergic to. She was alluding to that. That is again, talk about representative of your party. Every Democrat in the state of Alabama needs to come out and condemn that.
I would like to hear that, because we used the word vile earlier. That I'm really to say you're going to poison, or say somebody's got a food allergy.
I mean, insane.
Because I'm familiar with that, and to say something, to even, I don't guess the word is joke about that, is disgusting. It's terrible, and you're right. Where is the condemnation for something like that?
I like that they're saying it, though, because now you know who the crazies are.
You know who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
You're glad she put it out there.
Right, exactly.
So
you're like, all right, well, you've removed all doubt.
By the way,
absolutely.
If you didn't see her picture,
I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always in the eyes.
it's
Always in the eyes. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen that picture, but every time it's in the eyes.
all right. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, the final segment of Leland Live. Paul. Every time Paul DeMarco and I are together, we talk crime, we talk pardons and paroles, we talk that. We may get to a couple minutes of that here. You guys hold tight.
It really.
Well, good afternoon. Good evening, I suppose. Almost 6 o'clock here. Our final day. AJ, thank you for keeping me out of trouble for 2 weeks.
No problem. No problem.
Goodness, it's a tough job, but somebody had to do it. You did as good a job as anyone could. Here in studio with me, I've got JD of Breaking Bread. Had him come in early, so we could talk a little politics. Y'all don't get very political on your show,
We don't.
which by design.
It is.
By design.
Well,
so.
we've got, but Will is pretty. He knows his stuff as well. I think you
Y'all
would.
just choose not to.
We do.
You do.
We do, unless we have to.
And then Paul DeMarco joining us for our last half hour here. Man about town. I was hoping we'd have a little bit more time to talk about some of the law enforcement. As a matter of fact, we had State Representative-elect Lloyd Peoples in, and we talked about you a little bit. Talked about kind of what's going on. Yesterday, we were talking off air. Yesterday, AJ and I were watching. They had Trump went to North Dakota for the
Roosevelt.
library.
I
That was
wish I
so
could-
cool.
I wish I could have been there.
He took a train in and then had a escort by horse escort by the Rough Riders. Yes,
That's awesome.
It really is. I've been to several presidential libraries, and that's on the to-do list.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were opening it up. I mean, I guess his house is up in New York,
Okay.
but to open that up in North Dakota, is it Medora, North Dakota, in the Badlands? I've seen some of the video. Like I said, quite the contrast from the opening of the presidential library for Barack Obama, where they were apologizing for the land they were on,
But they're still on it.
but they're still
Yeah,
on.
yeah, absolutely.
They apologize, but we're gonna still keep it.
Yeah, we're gonna spend $800 million on this for y'all. Little gross.
It also just an ugly building.
It is.
I don't know that I'm allowed to say that, but I'm going to say it
No,
anyway.
I think you can.
It's truly just an ugly building.
It's a representation of him and his presidency. Though it's just an empty suit. I mean, it's an empty
well
suit
said.
of a library.
Well said.
Because there's nothing in it, right?
Well said.
Except air.
I did see a basketball court. I believe there was a basketball
Oh,
court
well, there we go.
in the library.
But
Yesterday was a really cool, everything start to finish, from the train ride in to the Rough Riders to the speech.
because it was about loving America. In Teddy Roosevelt and what he meant for this country and what a great president he was, and that's what they made that event about yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, and the folks out there just loved it. It really was a well done event. And again, from watching the video, and again, you see what's going on in Washington D.C. with the fair, and I've had some friends go to some of the
booths and
booths and take
I
a
guess
picture
you get
with
a
a cutout.
passport, something to stamp from state to state.
They got a picture with a cutout of Kay Ivey, so there you go. So and send it back and everything.
I was posting. Scott Buttram from the Trustville Tribune had posted about that, because there is people who are going, is this the best we got, a cutout of Kay Ivey? And I'm like, I can think of a lot of people from Alabama people would actually go there to get a photo with. Whether it's, these days, not to be trendy, but Ella Langley, you've got great football teams here. We've got the Space Center, and instead we've got printouts of photos,
Where
some
was this?
chairs. This is at the Alabama booth at the.
But hey, we did a booth. There are several states who just didn't want to participate and wouldn't have a state booth at the state. It's
I
the
think they ended
National
up with-
Fair on the mall.
Yeah.
that they're doing.
So
in
we sent a
Washington, D.C.
cutout, like a
we-
fat head of a
Yes.
fat head sticker of Kay Ivey up there.
We sent
It's
a
like a-
life-size cardboard cutout
Roll
of Kay
Tide.
Ivey.
My goodness.
And you can get some trail mix. So other booths
Oh.
had like this, interactive stuff. So there was some pushback on this. The Department of
think-
Tourism is like, no, we think it's great.
Well,
like,
my folks they said it was a good representation. I mean, I haven't seen the rest of them, but I think they're saying it showed the vote, what's in the state and everything. So
I'm laughing really hard.
so-
I don't know that we brought our best. And I've it's so funny because the tourism did like a video inside of the booth. But yeah, I feel like there are cardboard cutouts that
So
you could
good.
put there from the state of Alabama that people would be like, let's go get a picture with this.
you're just saying this grilling some barbecue and serving some barbecue sauce.
Exactly.
Now, that would have been an Alabama booth.
Exactly. An
Brisket,
Alabama
some biscuits
booth.
and gravy, some barbecue.
Yes.
Then
now we're talking.
everybody from around the DC's like, wait a second, what's that smell?
What is that
Okay,
smell?
But
that's
we also
coming from the
we
Alabama
also
booth.
needed a section that said, "Thank God we're not Mississippi."
Oh.
And Mississippi would be like, we're beating you on a lot of stats
Yeah,
right now.
hey,
So
Things here are changing.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, tell us again. So I was mentioning Independence Day events. You're going to be at the OLS has one.
Serving barbecue from about 10 to 10:30 to 2.
There you go. All right, you guys, get out there. I have really appreciated the ability to be here with you the last 2 weeks. It has been fun. Thank you both for coming in here on our last day. If you're not following me on X, you can find me at APRYLMARIE. Paul DeMarco, you're on X too. What's your handle?
Paul_DeMarco.
Paul_DeMarco. JD, are you on X?
no, I hate all of social media. No.
You're so cranky.
I am.
You're the crankiest
it's
little
so
man
bad
I know.
for you. It's not good. It's not good.
He missed the little man comment. Too funny.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We're going to wrap up today's program. You can, of course, catch all of this later on the podcast, which AJ will do after Breaking Better at some point. We'll catch it on the podcast. Of course, you can also go back and view it on YouTube Live if you want to see JD sitting on the floor when he first came in.
Let's correct it. He was not sitting on the floor. He was sitting in the chair.
The camera. It's the camera.
Yeah, no.
And then Paul DeMarco, I can't even get up on my own. Paul DeMarco managed to get his way up here. We're going to have to exchange notes about that.
The big boss saw him
Gotta know
down
people.
there. And
Yeah,
Bump into people.
There you go.
That's what it was.
All right. You guys stay tuned. You know what I say? Stay out of trouble. Stay tuned for Breaking Bread.
All right, JD's JD's probably just gonna sit where he's at right now.
We're just gonna stay right here.
Yeah, and then we're gonna talk another hour with Breaking Bread, the Taste Buds, AJ. Hey, stay tuned. We're coming up next.
Such a cute little name.
Goodbye, AJ.